here you'll see a QR code. I'm pretty sure students will be able to still scan it later on, but if they do have any requests to get more information about TWU, they can scan this code and it'll take them to request more info page, and they'll just put in their info and we'll send them any TW updates that they might have. But I do want to introduce myself. Oh, well, up here in the corner, you can see that in the next slides, there will also be the QR code. So if later on, if you have an interest in getting more information about TWU, you're welcome to scan that. But a little bit about me, my name is Jennifer Uriega, and I am an admissions counselor from TWU. I actually graduated from TWU last year. So if students have any questions about campus life or being involved on campus, I'm always happy to answer any questions that anyone might have. All right, so first things first, we do want to talk about student safety and make sure that that's shown that we really care about student safety and the precautions we've put in place for COVID. So we do have these sites. We update them pretty regularly. Our campus is very open with being very open about this information. So if students have any questions, they can go to these sites and we'll be happy to talk to anyone that has any concerns. We do follow regular precautions such as wearing your mask on campus. We don't require it outside, but the students have been very good at keeping those masks on outside, even outside. So we do want to stress that this is something we are trying to implement more, and we're trying to keep students informed. So a little bit about TWU. We do have a 12% male population. A lot of people see the name Texas Women's University and think we're just for women, but we're actually co-ed. And we are first in Texas and fifth in the nation for diversity. So that's something we're really proud about. You will see people from all walks of life on our campus. So a little bit about our academics. These are the different colleges that we have on campus. So the College of Nursing, College of Professional Education, the College of Arts and Sciences, College of Business, and the College of Health Sciences. So this isn't necessarily like a specific college you apply for, it's just where these majors are housed in. So TWU does have 3 campuses. Our Denton campus is for all of our undergraduate programs. So there you'll be able to find our English majors, our psychology majors, everyone there, as well as our nursing, entry nursing students. And we also have most of our graduate programs in the Denton campus. For Dallas and Houston, we have our upper level nursing. So that would be after those nursing students take their prereqs on the Denton campus, they will go ahead and apply for the Dallas or Houston campus. We also have our graduate healthcare programs in both the Dallas and Houston campus. So to apply for the application for TWU, the application process goes through Apply Texas. So that would be applytexas.org. And then we do have a $50 application fee. So there are quite a few ways that students can go about that. That can include sending in your fee waiver. And then we also have the option to pay for it with your credit or debit card, but that would be before you actually hit the submit button for Apply Texas. Or you can go to campus and send in your money order or cash for the application fee. After that, we do require your official transcript so we can see if you have any dual credit or AP courses, or we also try to make sure that all of your high school courses are met. And then we usually require official SAT or ACT scores, but due to COVID, we have waived that requirement. So students don't need to send that in. So for first year admissions, we have two ways that students can be admitted. For the top 25%, we have assured admission. So that means that you would be guaranteed admissions to TWU. For regular admissions, it would be for the top 50%. Since the SAT or ACT isn't required, we would just still need all of the rest of your application materials to be submitted so that the Office of Admissions Processing can come to an offer. We also have an individual review. So that's for applicants that don't necessarily meet those admission requirements, but the Office of Admissions Processing will consider will look at the application for the student that submits it, and it will be under an individual review. So for college credit, a lot of students tend to come in with dual credit or advanced placement. It's not bad if you don't, but for students that are wanting to get those credits transferred over, we do require it to be a C or higher for dual credit. And for advanced placement, it would be a 3 or higher for those courses, for the exams. And then for the IB program, it would be 4 or higher for those. So it is important to mention that if you are applying for any university, you would be applying as a first-year student, even if you come in with dual credit. That might count you as like a sophomore or something, but you would still be a first-year student since it would be your first time in college. So after you apply, you can wait like maybe 3 days or so. You can go into your Pioneer portal. So that would be portal.twu.edu, and there you can create your Pioneer portal. So from there, you'll be able to access Canvas, access your email. You'll be able to go to Web Advisor. Through Web Advisor, you can see what application materials you might be missing, or when your application materials were submitted and processed by the Office of Admissions Processing. So here is how it would look like once you create your new TWU account. So you'll be able to do this, like I said, 3 days after you submit your application through Apply Texas. So that way you can see everything that you might be missing. So here we have that a student annually will pay $24,117, but it can always vary. For me, at least, textbooks, I never paid $1,050 for textbooks. It was always a lot less for me. It can be different for students, but honestly, it just depends on your major. It depends on if you buy your books used or brand new, or if you're buying to rent or for you to like write in, for you personally. Transportation and other expenses can vary. If you have a car, you'll be paying for a parking permit on campus, your gas, your payments for your car. It just varies for every student. In-state tuition and fees can be pretty much the same for every student, but it can also vary if you're taking like science courses. A lot of science courses, those fees can be put in place for labs. And room and board can also vary through if you decide to choose like a bigger meal plan for yourself or a smaller meal plan. So in order to pay for that, you can go ahead and go to fafsa.gov. I'm sure your counselors have talked about it with you or your teachers. It opened October 1st. So make sure you get that done. I always encourage students to get it done before Thanksgiving break, just so you don't have to worry about that later on. But it's also really good because the government has like a limited amount of money they can send out for students. So make sure you get that completed as soon as you can. And since you had, at this point, since you had made your TW Pioneer Portal account, you'll be able to access your email, and through that email, accepted students are notified of their awards. So besides FAFSA, we do have a lot of scholarship opportunities at TWU. So you would go to the TWU Pioneer Scholarship System. It's a really great system because you'll just submit your general application, and then from there, you would get shown all of your recommended opportunities. So you won't have to waste any time like looking through all of the bunches of scholarships that we offer. It'll only show you the scholarships that you're eligible to apply for. So we always recommend that you apply for as many as you can, but also keep note of deadlines, and if they require any essays or if there are any interviews that they require from you. So just keeping that in mind, but making sure that you're filling out as many as you can. So the scholarship application opens July 1st and has a deadline of March 15th. But of course, the sooner, the better for you. So some scholarship highlights that we like to mention are Terry Scholar Foundation Scholarship is a really great opportunity for students. It tends to be a full ride for students, including room and board, even book fees and everything. So if that does pop up as one of your recommended opportunities, definitely go through that scholarship application. It can be a little bit vigorous, but it's one that is really worthwhile. The President's Leadership Council is another great scholarship that focuses on service and volunteering, as well as leadership. And departmental scholarships are definitely something that you want to look for. Those are scholarships only for students that have the same major as you. So that is still a smaller pool than just competing with students at the university. So definitely look out for those. But we do have an asterisk on some of these scholarships, and you can see that those are renewable. So another great thing about TWU is that a lot of these scholarships are renewable, not just these. So that would mean that later on, if you keep meeting those requirements for the scholarship, you will be able to have that scholarship paying for your tuition and fees throughout other years, not just 1 year. So a really great thing about TWU is that you get to live on campus. So I know DeSoto is over the limit, which is like 40 miles away. Like if you live 40 miles from TWU, the Denton campus, then you have the option to live at home still, but we do require our students to live on campus. However, it's a lot of fun and it's very beneficial. It was one of my favorite things about being a student at TWU. So you get more time to be involved on campus. You get to go to events, you get to have study nights with your friends. And the great, awesome thing is that Parliament Village right here in the corner is the facility that students will be living in for first year students. And it is actually pretty brand new. They opened it last year, I believe. But it's really nice. There's so many like study areas, there's kitchens for you to cook at. And the outside looks really nice. There's a bunch of hammocks and like a pool table or a ping pong table. But it's a lot of fun. And then another great thing about TW, like living on campus, is you'll be able to participate in the living learning community. So basically what that entails is that you'll get to have classes with your neighbors. So those study groups would be able to, would be something easier to form since you'll be having those classes with the people around you. So some of our student services, one I really like to highlight is the Pioneer Center. It's in the second floor of the library at TWU. But if you have any questions about who you need to turn to, if you are trying to find out where the Career Connections Center is, if you're just trying to find where maybe you can get your shots taken at, then they'll be able to help you with that. They'll point you to the right direction. They also have services themselves. So if you are struggling with organizing your planner or anything, they will help you figure out like your organizational skills. Another great source is the learning resources we have. So we have a lot of tutoring available for students. Um, it's all optional, but we do recommend you using it, especially since it's included in your fees. But um, I would always make use of the Right site, which would help me with my English courses. They would read through my essays, help me through them. For math, I'm not really like a strong math person, so the Math Learning Center was also a great resource. They also have a science tutoring source and a psychology center. So those are really helpful for students, and we really recommend going through those, since a lot of the people that are tutoring are the professors and students that have taken those classes. So for student life, we do have over 140 student organizations. So there's something for everyone. And if there is nothing that you're really interested in, we also have an easy way to create your own student organization, just as long as you have like 5 students that are interested and an advisor that you can find on campus, then that's something that you can do. Our Fit and Rec is really great. It has a 30-foot climbing wall, as well as a cardio area and a pool, indoor pool. And we also have an outdoor adventure center, which if you're interested in going camping in Oklahoma, which is like an hour away, or if you're interested in just going on a hammock in the park or something, you're able to rent out those things. They have tents, they have sleeping bags, they have a lot of camping gear, so it's a lot that they have to offer. So here's a timeline for applying for TWU. So generally in the fall, you'll apply for admissions. We do have a rolling application process. So that would mean that you'll apply for TWU, but you try to make sure that you're applying before course or like registration is starting. We don't have a set deadline, but as long as you get those things taken care of, like at least during the summer, but we recommend everything be done a lot sooner, just because of those dates that things are open or available to fill out and things like that. We want to make sure that you're getting that done for yourself, because the sooner the better. So for scholarships, July 1st is when it opens, but especially make sure that you're completing those, because who doesn't want free money? And then as well as financial aid, October 1st, it recently opened, so make sure that you get that done. Applying for housing, it is really good to go through it as soon as you can, just because you'll have more options. But make sure you are sure if you're living on campus and you've talked about that with your parents or with the housing office. If there's some sort of concern, make sure all of that is done pretty soon. You also have the opportunity to attend a Pioneer Preview Day. So that's basically where we have student panels, we have a housing session and a financial aid session to answer any questions that you might have about TWU before you actually go. You can be admitted or applying or just interested in TWU to be able to go, but one of those lucky students will go home with a $1,000 scholarship. So make sure you attend one of those, because you never know if you might be the winner. And for orientation, we do have sessions that start in May and go through August, but I recommend personally to go to the earlier ones, just because you'll have more options for classes to register for. All right, so like I said, we do have those Pioneer Preview Days. Make sure you go to those. We also offer online and phone appointments with admissions counselors. So if you have any questions, if you have a list of questions and you don't want to like just type it out or anything, we do have that option. You can talk to us about anything any concerns you might have. So if it's like financial aid or just like how campus life would be, we're always open to talk about anything you might have any concerns in. We also offer virtual campus tours as well as limited in-person tours. So those in-person tours are changed a bit, just because of COVID, and we want to make sure that everyone is following those regulations. So they're limited to just 3 people. So it could be like you and a friend and your parent, or like 2 parents, however you want to go about that. But those are in person, and we do have a full tour of the campus. So if y'all have any questions, or if y'all want Instagram, you can go ahead and do so at TWU Admissions. And like I said, if you do want to get more information about TWU, go ahead and scan that code and you can submit your information and we'll send that right on your way. Thank you.